And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here with our good buddy King.
How you doing?
Did I do it right this time?
What? What'd you do? I didn't even look. I was too busy doing a
I was pointing at you.
I think whatever you do, whether it's to the camera, whether it's to me, if you're doing it that way, this way, whatever, whichever way you do it, whatever you want to do. This is your like Bob Ross says. There are no accidents. There's no accidents. Happy little accidents. There's no mistakes. This is your world. This is your canvas. You paint with it.
Just a little tree here, though. Just a little tree.
Happy little trees. Happy little bush. Happy little rock. Happy little mountain.
I'll tell you what. A couple of years ago, my son dressed up as Bob Ross for Halloween.
Right.
And dude, he killed it. He got so much candy and everything. Like even there was a couple. Families I gave him had to go back in the house to get money for him.
Dude, Bobo is like there's something about the dude. You know what I mean? And again, I grew up with him. Like my mom watched him in the middle of the day. I remember I would come home from school for lunch, and she'd have Bob Ross on and Sewing with Nancy. By the way, I don't know if anybody else that remembers Sewing with Nancy. Yeah,
I don't remember that one.
Sewing with Nancy was always on, and Yan Can Cook and all those kind of things. But yeah, Bob Ross was always on, and listen, if the world's ever too much, if you're ever just stressed out beyond belief, if there's anything like that, and the thing is, you can find him now. He's on Pluto and Tubi, and he's everywhere. You can find him on any of the free TV things. Turn on some Bobo, man, or just go to YouTube and turn some Bob Ross on. Just turn some Bob Ross on, and the world will melt away. You'll just listen to that man gently tell you about the painting he's making, tell you about his life, tell you about, triumphs and struggles and all the other things. And dude, you instantly feel better. It's great stuff. Love Bobo. Man, who would have thought we started off with old Bob Ross here on the show today? That's incredible.
Out of nowhere. Reference.
Just listen. This is we're not a train. We're more of a driverless Tesla. We're just wherever the road takes us is where we're going. We're not on the tracks. We're not on any set course. We just kind of go. So I'm excited about that. That's how we roll here. That's how we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, love Bobo, and especially on this the first our first show where training camps have started.
Yes.
Last week we were excited because training camps were coming up, and now here we are. Training camps are here. I believe all 32 teams have reported, and some great stuff already going on.
Oh yeah.
It's good that football's back. I feel great. It's still gross and humid and hot here, but it's getting closer, and we're only, I think, 2 weeks away from pumpkin spice being released. Yes. So there's something there to look forward to. I'm very happy about that.
Pumpkin spice beer?
Gross. Stop with the pumpkin beer. Stop. Like, I know someone's going to look at me like, you like pumpkin spice coffee, but you don't like pumpkin spice beer. No, pumpkin beer is gross. There's a pumpkin hot is okay. Like, you have a hot coffee, a pumpkin coffee. Yes, 100%. I get it. And not the Starbucks shit. Because Starbucks isn't even really pumpkin. It's just sugar and like nutmeg is really all it is. But you get a nice, good pumpkin coffee, pumpkin made with pumpkin spice, made with actual pumpkin. It's good. I'm sorry. I like it. But it has to be hot. Like, it has to be warm. You get a pumpkin beer. It's been, I guess, over 10 years now since I first ever had a sip of it, and the last sip of it I'll ever have. And listen, nothing against Stegmeyer. Lovely beer. Lovely beer company up there. I believe it's them, and Lion's Head is the one that makes them as well. Lion's Head, great cheap college beer. Love them. Fantastic. They've gotten me through many a tough times getting drunk. I'm just saying like that. Very, and not unpleasantly. Not like a Coors Light getting through. Like it was like cheap beer, but good beer. Cheap but good, Sponsor us if you want to, Lion's Head. We're fine. Anyway, nothing against them. Rest of their beers are fine. Rest of their beers are good. Love them. That pumpkin beer can eat a bag of dog shit. Nope. Not doing it. Not doing it. I know you love it. You stock when it comes out. You stock up your fridges. You fill that sumbitch up with them.
Yeah.
I just
actually a couple of years ago, SBC, the newer brewery.
Susquehanna Brewing Company. Yes, I remember.
They actually bought the recipe from Lion's Head. So Lion's Head doesn't even have it no more. It still gets bottled with their logo, but it's SBC that owns it.
So SBC owns the Stegmeyer brand now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's it. Well, Stegmeyer once was its own brewery. So, there was Lion's Head, there was Stegmeyer, there was another one up there too. My mother used to know it because she used to live up there. Knew people who lived up there. I had family lived up in Wilkes-Barre way back in the day. Damn it, I can't remember it now. Old age sucks. But yeah, Lion's Head I know bought out a few of them, and a couple others were bought or folded or everything like that. So. But yeah, so that's not odd that the brand itself would be moved or changed or bought. And SBC has been getting bigger, so good for them, and that's great. But you could change the recipe if you want to, guys. Like, if you want to try to make it taste better, I don't think you can. I don't think you can make pumpkin beer taste good. So I'll just stick with the coffee. But be that as it may, we're getting there. We're getting closer to the fall, to football season. Training camps have started. As you mentioned to me, apparently there's been a shit ton of fights already in training camp, which is to be expected.
One person that I'm going to let you know who's in one of the first fights, our good buddy. Well, we have two good buddies that got in fights today.
Oh, okay, wow.
I already told you the one, but the one I'm about to tell you, Stephon Diggs, surprise, in a fight.
Not surprising, but he's... What do they say? He's competitive. He's got that fire. He's got that competitive fire. So, as long as it's not, listen, I've never had a problem with there being fights in training camp. Like, some people go like, oh, is this going to be a problem in the locker room, or is this going to be a thing? Like, it never is. Like, if people do it, you're heated. You're down there, and especially like if he's with Houston, so they're down there in that Houston, Texas heat. Yeah. And you're just starting to get into it, and now you're like, I'm not gonna say anything. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's bad already. Oh, he's already causing problems. So like, that's the training camp fight is almost a trope at this point.
Yeah.
So it rarely, if ever, leads to anything. The most we got was the during the inter-scrimmage when Aaron Donald tried to murder a Cincinnati Bengal with his helmet. A couple of years ago.
Was that the one he had both helmets?
He had. I know he had the one, and then he might have had both. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, but I know he had the one. And you saw him. He was straight up Myles Garrett trying to murder somebody. So that was. I remember that. But outside of those things, and again, that was an inter-squad. That was an inter-squad scrimmage. Like, that wasn't even just a training camp. So
do you remember early 2000s, maybe late 2000s, Washington football team?
Redskins. You could say there were Redskins at the time. You can still say it.
Yeah.
You can still say it.
I just want to be like Pat and want to make sure I'm okay to say that word.
Or just do what I say. Just do what I say. The Washington football team of Redskin Commanders. It kind of covers all the bases. So any of the names that they've had or anything they've used, it's all encapsulated in one nice, neat little package. So,
the sucker punch on the sideline. I remember the wide receiver's name was Westbrook. I can't remember the running back's name, but just laid out the guy. I don't know. Do you remember that one? Or no?
I don't, actually. To tell you the truth, I wish I did. I don't remember that, and I normally am pretty good with this stuff, but I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah,
he was out for. He was actually out for the rest of the training camp. The guy that got sucker punched, black eye, everything like that. Came back, during the season, average season, nothing spectacular, but yeah, I'll never forget that. I mean, he just, boom, and I mean, out cold, like Mike Tyson knocked you out.
So that was kind of the situation with the. Why can't I? Well, see, this is why I don't pay attention. I should pay attention to more basketball. Hold on, I got to look this up because I don't want to get the name wrong because then I'll get killed and people will murder me. I'm probably going to get made fun of because I already don't know the name offhand. But I'm not an NBA guy. What do you want? Like I don't pay attention to basketball. I'm sorry.
I think we're more interested in WNBA than actual NBA. We talk about.
Dude, I am surprised. Not surprised, but like it's just it seems like a little validation for what I've kind of been saying for a while is that it's not that the WNBA wasn't being watched because of misogyny or it's just men don't want to support it. People weren't watching it because it wasn't good.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It didn't have any good, meat to it. It wasn't, it wasn't a big viewing experience. Now you have Caitlin Clark. You have that rivalry she has with Angel Reese, and you have kind of how the rest of the league is dealing with it. You have the Las Vegas Aces, which are very good. You have the New York Liberty, who are very good. There's a level of talent now, and again, with the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese thing, there's a story now. There's kind of a narrative that people are paying attention to. So so all of a sudden it's like, yeah, people are watching. And it wasn't that men weren't watching either. Women didn't watch it either. Nobody was watching the WNBA. Now they are, and there's a reason to watch. And I like that, and I just hope they don't step on their foot. They've already made a couple of really bad PR missteps and everything that they've done. So I'm hoping they stay out of their own way and are able to go ahead and embrace this. But Draymond Green, that's the one I was thinking of from the Golden State Warriors when he just straight up sucker punched, what was it, Jordan Poole? Yeah. He punched Jordan Poole. He's like walking up to, hey, wham! Knocked him right out. And it was it's like, yeah, no, that's not great.
Now that fight will affect the locker room.
Yes, that did. I believe they got rid of one of them. I know Jordan Poole. They traded him, and then Draymond Green left the next season or something. But and that's not his first time with that kind of nonsense. So it was
it's
not
every
great.
year he's involved.
Not great. But who's the other fight? You said we had Stephon Diggs. Who was the other one?
Our good buddy from Kansas City, Tony. Two long toes, Tony.
Tony.
Now he got lit up. That video I saw.
I haven't seen the video yet.
It's funny because they're in shorts. I don't even think they're in shoulder pads. They look like they're in jerseys, just flat out jerseys. And it was like a swing pass or a screen, and he cut back towards the center of the field, and linebacker just, he didn't up his arms and blow him up. He just flat out ran into him, and Tony got up, threw the ball. Defense is looking at Tony like, yeah, shut the fuck up. You just leave.
Okay, hold on. I think I found the video. I gotta pop this up because I gotta see what this looks like. So let's go ahead. Let's pop this up, and I want to see what this is. Oh, we can't have that music, so let's go ahead and put that down. Whoops. Good Megadeth music, though. Yeah. Oh, I'm mad. I got hit in training camp. That's the point. That's the point, KD. What are you doing?
I'm sure he'll be going on his Instagram later and say all the different things he usually says. Then comes out and says AI. AI.
All right, so from this one, it's Kadarius goes ahead and he chucks the ball after getting hit, and then Kelsey is the one who jumps in and starts trying to defend him.
Yeah.
Look at Travis being a good teammate. Oh, Travie. Taylor's going to love that.
It looks like Taylor didn't make him too soft.
In fact, I think she probably made him pretty hard. That's our next story. We're going to get rid of that before we go ahead and show that. Oh, that's a funny one. Stay tuned for that one. There's a good one coming up.
I kind of want to bring this up. I kind of put it in our group chat. Most of you Giants fans are just fucking retarded. And for once,
can't use that word. You cannot use that word. How dare you?
Well, I said darted.
What? No, we have you recorded. People just heard you.
So I went on X.
Not that Twitter. I disagree with your point.
Yeah.
Not that I disagree with it.
The first clip of Daniel Jones throwing the ball, it's a swing pass to the running back. He overthrows him. Oh, here we go. Mid-season form. Oh, this and that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'm chuckling.
Well, I heard two things about that. I heard one was like the Daniel Jones flag, and then the other hand was Saquon would have caught that. Saquon would have gotten
Yeah.
that. Saquon would have got that ball. Saquon would have had that. Not only can Daniel Jones not throw, but Singletary can't catch. This dynasty, this is a mess. We're such a mess. This is over. We're even thinking, Joe Shane, fire him now. Get rid of him. Fire him. You got to fire the Yankees. You got to fire everybody on the Yankees, too, because the Yankees are doing everything. In fact, the people in New York are a different beast. They are.
They're worse than I was when I was 12, and really hardcore into the Eagles. If McNabb sneezed the wrong way, I mean, I am bad now. I am still bad.
No, I'm just saying in general. Giants fans, the New York fan base is no better or worse than the Philadelphia fan base.
Oh, I agree.
Or the Boston fan base, the Chicago fan base. Where it's people live, eat, breathe these sports teams, but they also have a mental IQ that is lower than their shoe size. So, when you see things like that, and again on Hard Knocks last night, you watch that and you see, what I saw, what I took from that show, that episode last night was. That's an NFL team that is trying to build pieces, trying to get things together, leaving a door open if there's an opportunity to get something, but not so much that it's not aggressively trying to get a pick, but if the pick's open, what do we need to do? If the Giants were desperate enough, they could have made a deal to try to get Drake May.
Yeah.
Now, I think the point stands that Washington would not have traded with the Giants because you're in the division with them, they're a rival, and they were set on Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
So you weren't going to get Jaden Daniels as much as the Giants loved him. But I think everybody loved him. You weren't getting Jaden Daniels. So then it was Drake May. So now you're talking about getting Drake May, who is basically Daniel Jones just without the NFL experience. And you'd have to give up a tremendous amount. Plus, the Patriots need a quarterback. And like you heard him say in the show, it's you'd have to give us a Mike Ditka deal. You'd have to give us a Ricky Williams type of deal in order to get this because we need a quarterback. We want a quarterback. We're kind of set on quarterback. So all the people out there be like, the Giants should have made that deal. Oh, how does Shea not pull the trigger on a deal like that? How are you going to go? Because I'm not going to go into the whole Daniel Jones thing because I've said it a million times. Everybody knows where I feel and how I feel about Daniel Jones. I think he's a good quarterback. I think if given the right tools in the right spot and some fucking protection, for the love of God, that, again, the guy has shown that he can be a great NFL quarterback. I do. I think, again, we'll see how the legs are after the ACL injury. We'll see if he's still got the same motor, same mobility, same ability to run and fix plays and get plays done that normally are broken. We'll see. We'll see if he can stay healthy. We'll see if he can make connections with Malik Neighbors. And if having Malik Neighbors on the field then opens up our other receivers, who are not top NFL receivers. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into the whole Daniel Jones and I get that. Daniel Jones is a good enough quarterback for this team, and I think the Giants understood that. But also, they wouldn't be doing their jobs if they didn't kick the tires on looking at some of these other players. They were talking with Arizona and seeing if they wanted to move up with them to see, maybe they get Marvin Harrison Jr. Although everybody in the Giants building seemed to like Malik more than Marvin Harrison Jr., which is, I don't know if that's a case of we know he's going to be gone before 6, so we really just like Malik Neighbors, or if it really was, given the choice, we'd take Malik over Marvin Harrison. I know I heard the one scout say that. I don't know how much of that I believe, but again, it seems like it was close between Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors on how at least the Giants viewed them. And like it seemed like everybody knew that Marvin Harrison was going to go forward to the Cardinals, and then it was the Chargers were the wild card there at 5. Were they going to pick up a receiver? They needed one because they got rid of all theirs.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people thought that they might have picked up Malik Neighbors in that spot. Instead, they went with Joe Alt, which was another thing. I remember after the draft or during the draft, people were talking about how the Giants were looking to talk or move up to get the tackle, to get Joe Alt, to do stuff like that. His name was not mentioned once in that entire fucking thing. The Giants had no intention of ever doing anything with Joe Alt. So that just goes to show you misinformation that goes out there during this shit. But it seems like, you know, like the Giants had a pretty decent idea of what they were. They were like, we got Daniel Jones, and if it's either Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors, we're handing in the card.
Yeah.
And then if either one of them are gone, then we'll look at who's trading what, this, that, or the other. But, like, it was pretty set. And then it was like, if the Patriots are kind of amenable to a deal that's not going to murder us, maybe. But the Patriots were set on they needed the quarterback, and they did. And so they were like, in order for us to move out of this spot, you're going to have to give us the world. And Drake May's not worth the world.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, honestly, I don't think any of those quarterbacks are Mike Ditka package.
I like Jaden Daniels.
You know what I mean? That much.
I like Jaden Daniels. I do. And that's grown on me. Because during the college season, like, I wasn't huge on maybe it was the stink of Brian Kelly still on him a little bit, you know, where I was just like, you know, F Brian Kelly, F LSU, you know, F all that. So maybe there was a little bit of that, but the more I've seen of him in the offseason and doing his NFL stuff and making his NFL rounds and his pro day, and now seeing him in this interact with the Giants and just how he, like, impressive kid, impressive young man. So, like, I'm not, like, I think the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders really picked up, I think they might have gotten the jewel of that quarterback, because I'm sorry, Caleb Williams might have all the talent in the world. I don't think he is mentally ready for the NFL. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he was mentally ready to play at USC.
Yeah.
And you kind of saw that a little bit. You know, he did the silly shit. He, you know, put the fuck Notre Dame on his nails and did that for all the other teams in the game. And then he'd lose and he'd go cry in the stands with his mom. It's like, that's not, like, listen, and I know some people are making fun of him for other reasons of that, but just in a logical reason standpoint, like, that is not somebody who is mentally ready and prepared for the pressure week in, week out, day in, day out of NFL football, of media availability, of whether you win or lose, whether you get destroyed 62-0 or whatever, you got to go up to that podium and answer questions. And you have to, you know, face the media every day, whether you had a good game or a bad game, any of that. Is he ready for that?
Yeah.
I think that's a big question. So, you know, and again, Chicago, I think, has done a good job of building a team around him that is a lot better than what they had last year or the last couple of years. You know, poor Justin Fields, you know, kind of, we finally were building a decent team around the quarterback, but you're gone. See you later. It's like, so, you know, who knows how he could have actually been with some talent. And I think I say the same thing about Daniel Jones. Could, you know, in the 1 year where everybody was kind of healthy and everybody contributed a little bit, Daniel Jones looked great. The Giants made it to the playoffs and won a game. We don't talk about the divisional playoff, but that's fine. But, like, they were able to do stuff.
Yeah.
They were able to win games that people didn't. They beat the fucking Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
All right? Like, that's, people forget that. Like, yeah, they beat the Packers in London and everything, and I know people were saying, well, the Packers had a down year. They did, but at the time, I lost my mind. I was jumping up and down my house. I was like, we beat the goddamn Packers. Who saw that coming? Like, I was like, I was out of my mind. Because it's like, I went into every game of, like, the first half of 2022 being like, How are we going to lose? Like this is not going to go well. This is go well. And then by the end of it, we were 7-1.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I mean? Like, so we're like, I think when you put the right people there, it can, it makes the difference. It's not just one person that's going to do something, and you look at any of the quarterbacks out there, it's never just, you put a good quarterback on a bad team, they're going to suck. I'm sorry. Like, that's just what it is. Like Patrick Mahomes, yes, he had, but he went there and he had Travis Kelce already there. They had Tyreek Hill, who was super fast. When that was when he was fresh into the league. I think he was a rookie or a second year guy anyway. He was right there. Like they were there, poised, ready to go. Joe Burrow gets in the league. Yeah, they don't have a offensive line, unfortunately, but their defense is pretty good. They had Joe Mixon in the backfield, although he's gone now. He's down in Houston. You had the two receivers. You had T. Higgins and why can't I remember the other one? God, my mind is terrible. The one on the other side.
Jamar Chase.
Chase. That I know. Chase just came to my mind as you said it. So you had he had those. So he had talent. He had weapons. He had things around him. Didn't have protection, but he had those. Like when you look at Justin Fields and you look at Daniel Jones, what the fuck did they have?
Yeah.
At all during all this. Like you could say, oh, well, Daniel Jones had Saquon Barkley. If he was ever healthy, which he wasn't, and if he was ever effective, which was questionable. Except 2022 was the one year where he stayed healthy throughout the entire year. And you notice that Daniel Jones had a great year that year.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley had a good year that year. Like the Giants were able to do something because at least one of the weapons that they had, the only weapon they had, was healthy and on the field and productive. So that argument about you have to have a quarterback and the quarterback can change everything. If you don't have the quarterback, he's bad. Oh, this quarterback's terrible. If you had a different quarterback, it'd be great. If I've made this argument before, if you put Patrick Mahomes, if you put Joe Burrow, if you put Josh Allen on the New York Giants or the Chicago Bears of last year, they're not making the fucking playoffs, guys. I hate to tell you that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, at the end of the day, the Giants won 6 games last year. They had no reason winning 6 games last year.
Yeah.
The Giants should have won 3, maybe 2 games. They were fucking awful. Again, that's a team that lost to the Jets in a game that had nothing but field goals.
Oh, yeah, that game.
I'm so glad I missed that game.
Yeah.
I had to go see my second viewing of the Errors tour in theaters.
Oh, you liked it.
Listen, if I get to stare at Taylor Swift for 3 hours, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Circling back to Hard Knocks last night, the one thing that there was 2 things I took out of it, but the one thing that I took out of it is Malik Neighbors. He's going to be issues for you guys because they had to sit down with him again and explain how to control his anger when he gets upset and how to put it the right way. Like during the interview process, I could understand that, like talking about it, but
I don't see a problem. I see it as a regular NFL receiver. He's name a receiver who doesn't do that or is going to do that. Every one of them bitch, every one of them moan, every one of them have their I don't see a huge problem with it. Now again, is that me with the rose-colored glasses on, trying to look at it as all things are great? No, is he gonna throw a helmet or be an OBJ when Daniel Jones overthrows him the first time, or if he's not getting the targets because he's getting double coverage or something like that, and he's like we'll see. But the Giants seem comfortable enough with him that, and again, I've talked about it on this show many times, the talent to bullshit ratio.
Yeah.
If he's good enough when called upon, you can deal with the bullshit.
Yeah.
You can deal with the I'm not getting the ball enough. I'm not getting my carries. I'm not getting my looks. I'm not getting my touches. Why am I not getting targeted enough? Why is this? Why is that? Like, you can deal with a bit of the noise. You can deal with a bit of the static, especially if, like, when you do target him, he goes for 40 yards, 50 yards, running touchdowns, running like he outrunning it. Like, if you're able to do that, talk shit. That's fine. Like, I'm willing to. I've come to the point where I understand the bullshit to talent ratio. But if you are targeted and you drop balls, and you or you duck out of bounds before you're supposed to and make a business decision before a first down, or do something like that, then all of a sudden I'm going to be like, maybe keep your mouth shut. But again, that's all things in the future that we haven't seen yet.
And you know what too is probably because, you think about Stephon Diggs, you think about AJ Brown, Terrell Owens, all those guys prior to this year. Maybe the GMs had those same conversations, but with Hard Knocks, you see these conversations.
You're seeing them. You know what people are saying, right?
And that's what I'm just thinking now. Maybe that's why have this thinking that he's going to be a problem child for you guys. But the second thing too was, like, Daniel Jones had to know that the Giants were at least thinking about drafting a quarterback. Why did you have to sit down and say, hey, we're just going through the steps, we're going through the process, blah blah,
because you have to. Because you have to. That's the proper. That's the way you should do it. You don't, because if you don't do that, then you get a situation like Atlanta with old Kirk O'Chains there, where you bring it. He left Minnesota because Minnesota said, we're going to take a quarterback. We're going to take a quarterback and get him ready for the future. And he said, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be the transition guy. I'm not going to sit there and be a mentor. I want to go somewhere where I'm going to be starting. I'm the starter. No ifs, ands, or buts. So he gets traded to Atlanta. And what does Atlanta do? They get a quarterback for the future. And they're like, well, you're going to be...
That's a different situation.
And they never talk to him about it. No, but this is the point. My point is that they didn't talk to him. They didn't sit him down and say, this is what we're thinking. This is what we're going to do. They just did it. This is why the Giants did that. They're like, listen, we're bringing you in here. We're going to let you know that you've been injured you missed 17 games in the last couple of years here. Yeah. You are often injured. There are these things here. We need to make sure that we kind of cover our own ass. So this is not saying that we don't trust you. This is not saying we don't believe in your abilities or your talent. And that's not saying that you're not going into this season as a starting quarterback. It's just saying that we're reviewing all our options, and we want you to hear it from us instead of Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter or ESPN. Like, we want to have that conversation with you and not somewhere else. And he can take it any way he wants to. He can take it positively. He can take it negatively, however you want to do it. But it's better to do that face-to-face, man-to-man, it's better to do that there. Yeah. So that's why. And that's, again, that's another piece of this that is, having the communication is better than not having communication. Same thing in a relationship. If you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, whatever, if you don't communicate with them, that shit's going to get real bad real fucking quick.
Yeah.
As somebody who has lived through it. Bad communication, never great. So when you see that in the football standpoint and in a professional, yes, always have the communication. Always have those lines open. Always be like, listen, this is what we're thinking. This is what we're doing. Even if they don't like it, like with Saquon. And I told Saquon, we're going to let you hit the market, and we're going to see what we want. Now, we know Saquon came out and said now that, he knew after that phone call he was done. Like, he was like, I'm done. I'm not going back there. They don't want to pay me what they want to. They're never going to match the price, whatever like that. And that turned out to be true. But you still have to leave that open. You can't try to sit there and lie to the guy and be like, oh, well, we're going to look for this, or we'll see. Maybe we'll put something like that. Like, they didn't string him along. They said, listen, go out there and see what your price is. And if someone is going to give you that much, then go. So be it. Yeah. But the Giants had other pieces to fill too. So you have to make those decisions. I don't have a problem with that. A lot of people got pissed about that. A lot of people. Again, the New York sports fans that we're talking about, they're just pissed about this whole thing. They think Shane should be fired. They think everybody should be fired. Get rid of how is Matt? He's so meddling. And how is he meddling? He's going to his general manager. What do you think? I don't know. It's gonna suck if I see him in an Eagles helmet. Yes, it would suck to see him in an Eagles helmet, and it is going to suck to see him in an Eagles helmet. But at the end of the day, the decision had to be made, and he made it. If Mara was a meddling owner, Saquon Barkley would be a New York Giant. We wouldn't have any offensive linemen. We wouldn't have any kind of receivers. We wouldn't have Brian Burns. Our defense would not be shored up. Like, we wouldn't have anything else, but we'd have Saquon. Like, at the end of the day, we're selling jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we would have if Mara was a meddling owner. He's not. So everybody who's saying that can please shut the fuck up. Like, that's the other thing that bothers me. There's people who are so confidently ignorant when it comes to sports. And not just the Giants and stuff. I know I get defensive when I talk about the Giants. But, I mean, in all sports, like in all things, people are so... It's the Skip Bayless disease. They're ignorant. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you're going to say it with such passion and such conviction that I'm so right. This is right. Oh, this is so terrible. This is like, what the fuck? If you knew anything, you wouldn't be sitting at home jacking off watching HBO Hard Knocks. You'd be the general manager, wouldn't you? But you're not.
Yeah.
So shut up. Go heat up your fucking Hot Pocket that they don't have the goddamn sleeves on anymore. You goddamn green piece bastards.
Really?
And yeah, they got rid of the sleeves.
Oh, son of a bitch.
First it was Celeste pizzas. My sweet dollar Celeste pizzas that they got rid of the crisping tray and ruined those goddamn pizzas. And now it's Hot Pockets. They got rid of the crisping sleeve. So now it's just welcome to a big brick of mush.
I was gonna say, like, soggy inside and shit.
It's a travesty. It's a travesty. But anyway,
it is. We need to get a movement going.
But anyway, I did want to take a look and see here, since we are in training camp now.
Yes.
We are in the training camp. So let's go over. I wanted to take a look at who's actually holding out and holding in. And we might have had some news since we've been doing this. I don't know. I don't know what the latest is. But let's. I want to take a look here because I'm on CBS Sports here. So let's take a look. Now we know that Jordan Love is holding in.
Yes.
Jordan Love is holding in. I mean, he's there in Green Bay. He's on the practice field. He was standing there in the torrential rain the other day.
Was he the one doing the 7-on-7s?
I don't believe he was doing anything.
Okay.
I believe he's just there.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so he's not. Yeah, because he's not doing anything. They're saying Gunther Kunst has acknowledged that the quarterback won't risk an on-field injury until the negotiations are resolved. So he's holding in. So he's there in training camp. He's there, I guess, at all the meetings, and he's there with all that stuff. He's just not practicing. He's not participating in any of the on-field activities. And I think the same thing goes for Tua here. Tua is in camp seeking a new contract. I haven't heard the latest on that yet. I know they're still trying to hammer it out. What does it say here? Pro Bowl signal caller who led the NFL in passing in 2023 or 2023, as normal people would say, is entering the final year of his rookie contract. He seems impatient over the slow long-term negotiations and extension talks. He said that the market is the market. Just like the Chiefs is the Chiefs, the market is the market. While he did report to camp, his practice participation will be very fluid, per coach Mike McDaniel. So that's another hold-in. And Alvin Kamara also is holding in as well with New Orleans, which is not a surprise. I think everybody kind of thought he was going to be doing that anyway. But he is there. So it seems like it's closer than a lot of people would normally think. And then there's CeeDee Lamb. which is going to be such a headache for the Cowboys. Like again, the Cowboys have no one to blame for themselves, but themselves for everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to Dak's contract, when it comes to CeeDee Lamb's contract,
Micah Parsons.
when it comes to Micah Parsons' contract, like when it comes to like all these big ones that are coming up, like they don't have anyone to blame but themselves. But CeeDee Lamb is holding out. Now, from what I understand is that because he's still on his rookie deal, because he's holding out, he's getting fined every day.
Yes.
But because he's on his rookie deal, if they get a deal done and he comes back, they can waive all the fines. Simply because he's on the rookie deal. If this wasn't his rookie deal, them fines are permanent, according to the CBA.
Yeah.
But apparently there's nothing going on. Let's see here. The NFL's leader in receptions in 2023, Lamb is entering the final year of his rookie contract, poised to command top-flight money at an increasingly pricey position. He absorbed fines by skipping mandatory minicamp and has reportedly yet to have a substantive long-term contract talk with the Cowboys. Also, who also have big money decisions to make with Prescott and Micah Parsons, like we said. So, and that's the other thing, too. If he's holding out and they haven't even started talking yet,
yeah,
that's a problem.
And that's the thing too is like, okay, he's going to make 17, close to 18 million this year. If they would have got a deal done with him right around when Devontae Smith did his deal, I think Devontae got 22 a year maybe. They could have got a CD a lot cheaper.
The Jefferson deal kills them.
And that could, once
The
Jefferson signed,
deal
it's
them.
Done.
Just like with Dak, and the Burrow deal.
Yeah.
The Burrow deal kills them. If you would have acted earlier instead of being like, well, we're going to wait a year, we're going to see, we're going to hold off. It's like.
And they would have that extra money to throw at Parsons then, once they would have those two signed.
Right. And then you're looking at, like, you could have had all three under contract. They're in camp right now.
Yeah.
But instead, this is one where Jerry, I normally try to defend Jerry when it comes to how he builds the team. I think the Cowboys have been a well-built team over the years. They've just somehow, either through coaching or through the players themselves, have not been able to put shit together. But this situation is all on Jerry.
Yeah.
This is all 100% a Jerry Jones problem. And, again, it could have been fixed. It could have been fixed, and he didn't do it. And then there's Brandon Ayuk, who's kind of been the big name this whole offseason, or demanding a trade, wanting a trade, and still saying he still wants to play for the Niners, but also flirting with other teams, being a little teasy boy. He's like, I don't know, maybe I want to play over there. I don't know why I made him sound like that, but I did. 2023 All-Pro has taken turns teasing interest. I'm not the only one who said he's teasing. CBS said it too. See? He's taken turns teasing interest in other teams and expressing a desire to stay with the San Francisco 49ers while seeking a long-term extension. 49ers general manager John Lynch has been steadfast in arguing Ayuk will stay put, even with the wideout now seeking a trade. Well, that's the other thing, too. The Niners said he's under contract. He's here. Whatever he's going to do, he's here. The receiver reportedly is in camp this week, but watched practice from the sidelines and is not participating on the first day of action, signaling a hold in. But, and I see there's a video here from just about 3 hours ago. Or actually, no, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Brandon Ayuk just walked off the field and into the 49ers main headquarter building with John Lynch. And here's stop with the audio. We're gonna get flagged. But yeah, we got video of Ayuk walking off the field and then going into the main building there.
And if it's the same video I saw, you don't see John Lynch on there. So, like I said to you, does that mean there's a deal close, or is he just saying, screw this, I'm going home?
Or is John Lynch already in the building? Like, that's what I mean. I don't know. It's normally I have a feel, if you have someone, I guess it's how you want to look at it. Do you want to look at it half glass full, half glass empty? Like, is it did he get a text or a notification on his phone? It's just like, hey, come here. I think you're going to like this. Come here. We got to talk. Or is it, like you said, is he just like, it's hot. I won't be out here. I'm going to go home. Like, what am I even doing here? Then I'm doing nothing. So I think that's, I think it depends on your point of view. The only thing that we know for sure is that Brandon Ayuk is going to be a 49er this season. Yeah. One way or another. The Niners are not trading him. He's not getting traded.
Yeah.
And I think that's been fairly well established, is that they're not trading him. They're keeping him there. So this whole thing, like, I want to be traded. I want to do it. They're never going to get anything back in return that's going to be equal to what he gives the 49ers.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that and they know that. So I think it's just, at that point, it's just posturing. They're, each side is trying to, do whatever. So he's saying, I want to trade. I don't want to be here. And the Niners are saying, you're playing for us. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking, but you're not going anywhere.
And really, then he shows up. He's going to probably be with them next year, too, because they'll franchise him.
That'll get ugly. Like I said, that's half the reason why Saquon's not with the Giants anymore, is because the ugliness of the whole franchise tagging thing of Saquon last year, and between him and Daniel Jones, and whether who was going to do what or whatever. Apparently, there was he did an interview with Diana Rossini where he mentioned a lot of that stuff. And I can see if I can find it, because I know the other thing I got from that was that he was very, he was actually very glowing about Daniel Jones.
Oh, okay. I just seen quotes from it, and I know the one quote about Shane. He actually did say he was a little disrespected that they didn't even offer him a deal.
Yes, I know. I heard that he said that he was very. He felt, well. That was the thing that I was talking about, where he said as soon as he knew when Shane told him to go hit the market and come back to him with a number, that they weren't going to sign him.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think that's true. I think if the number, like if the Eagles didn't make that kind of offer to him. And again, it seemed like the Bears and the Eagles were kind of pushing the price up on each other. So if that didn't happen, I think, then even if it was a little bit higher, like I think if it was more along where the Bears initially were, that might have been. But then once it started going too high, and then once the Eagles made their offer to him, that was, no, the Giants were going to do that. And I knew that, and I understood that, and I agree with that. My whole thing all the time is like, listen, I don't dislike Saquon Barkley. I don't dislike the guy. But if we're going to be real, the guy has massive injury issues. The guy has massive inconsistency issues. And that's not, and especially in a low running back market as it is now, like the guy's not Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He's not. So, like, what are we even talking about here? Like, I don't know. Like, again, it goes to that whole New York fan thing of just like, whoa, why did they got him? Whoa, I got his jersey. Why do we got him back here? Well, just because you have his jersey doesn't mean that he's good or that he's the right fit. And I think that's the thing. I don't think it's a question of whether he's good or not or anything like that. It seems like the Giants are making a different team. They're building a different team, and he just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And again, it was another one of those weird Gettleman picks. Why do you pick a running back at number 2? That was such a bad pick. Like I remember when it happened, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" Like, no, Saquon, I think he's very talented. I think he's very good, but at number 2,
yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? But then again, the Gettleman was awful. I think that's not a controversial statement. Gettleman was ass. I can't seem to find a video, but that's fine. But yeah, no, he was talking to just how he thinks Daniel Jones is very. He's got the talent. He's got leadership skills. He's got leadership skills in the huddle. He lives and eats and breathes football. Saquon was very glow, and that's the other thing I was thinking about with that interview. Is like, yes, and I know Saquon's not the kind of guy to shit on people or say anything, but he is also the one like again, he showed his displeasure with Shane, and how he felt he handled that situation. So I think if Daniel Jones wasn't good, or that he wasn't any of that, Saquon would have been more like I feel like if we had better leadership, or if we had another quarterback or something like that, maybe things could have been different, or things like he would have said it in a diplomatic way.
Yeah.
But he would have said, hey, Daniel Jones is not the guy.
Yeah.
But that's not what came out of that. So you can look at it a couple ways of, oh, Saquon, he's not going to disparage him. Or it could be, Saquon actually does believe that Daniel Jones, in the right situation with the right people around him, can be a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I tend to believe the latter. I would like to believe that. I know there's other people that are just going to say, he's being nice. Daniel Jones sucks cock. He's terrible. Ooh, I'm trying to do the WFAN caller voices. Really, it takes a toll on you. It really does. So, I don't know. Like I said, do I think, as we talked about on the countdown a little bit yesterday, which you can go check out, like, share, and subscribe, by the way, if you want to. Click that little bell so you know when all our episodes hit. I don't know if the Giants are going to be a top 12 team this year. I don't know if the Giants are going to be in any of our power rankings picks this year. I don't think we're going to be as bad as everybody thinks we're going to be. And that seems to be running right now, is that everybody thinks we're going to be just fucking awful. And I don't know. I just don't see it. I'm not saying we're going to be a playoff team, but 8 and 9, 9 and 8, I don't think is out of the question. I don't.
I mean, the Brian Burns pickup alone is huge for you guys.
I think the Giants' defense is going to be a fucking problem for people.
Yeah,
I do.
And I think a lot of people are overlooking the defense too. Like, I think a lot of people are looking at the defense as average. I think they could be a bit above average.
I honestly think a lot of it is because of the Daniel Jones and the Saquon Barkley stuff. I think people are so focused on the Giants lost Saquon and, Daniel Jones is awful and he's got to prove something this year. He's got to do something, or they got to pull the hook on him, start Drew Lock, all that kind of stuff. The focus has been so much on Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones that even picking up Brian Burns has almost seemed like an afterthought.
Yeah.
And that may be one of the biggest pickups of the offseason.
Yeah.
And it's rarely getting talked about. So, again, I think along those lines, I don't think the Giants' defense is as good as, like, the Jets. Their housemates there at MetLife. And maybe it's not, like, a top 5 defense, but I certainly think it's like a top 8 defense, at least top 8, top 10 defense in the league. I think so. Yeah. I would be willing to bet that now. Going into the season. Now, the Giants might lose games 10-3, but I don't think opponents. I think that defense can hold opponents to low-scoring games. I do, and by doing that, that gives this Giants team, with Daniel Jones, with Malik Neighbors, a chance to win.
Yeah.
And to score. If the Giants can score 17 points in a game with that defense, it's a chance. It's a chance to win. And I keep on forgetting about Devin Singletary. I like him.
Yeah.
I like Devin Singletary. And again, he's got the relationship with Daboll. He's used to the system. He's used to being in this kind of, and that's what I mean. Maybe it's a better fit than Saquon was.
Yeah.
And I know some people will say, well, you have to make a fit anyway. He's talented. He's great. There's all these other things. Maybe it just didn't fit. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And maybe that's the other thing that we're not looking at, is that maybe Saquon just didn't fit. And again, Saquon's got the same problems that Daniel Jones did. He's gone through how many different coaches, how many different offensive coordinators, how many different things like that. Like it's, at some point, I'm sure he wanted to get a fresh start too. As much as he was talking about, I want to be a Giant for life. I want to be a Giant for life. Yeah, it sounds good in the press. But at the end of the day, I'm sure he wanted to get a fresh start. I just wish he didn't do it with the most hated fucking rivals we have. But, you know, c'est la vie. Like, again, I don't hate the guy. I'm going to boo the shit out of him when we play them. But I was going to boo out of whoever the Eagles running back was. I was going to boo the shit out of. So I mean, that part has not changed. Like it's not any better or worse because it's Saquon. You were still getting booed. So, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Why? The air conditioner compressor went on. I was wondering why the thing flashing at me here.
I thought maybe you slapped the computer.
No, well, I slapped my knee, but you know, my computer's all the way the hell over there. So.
Oh, okay.
What else is going on? We got obviously training camp is big news. We got all the stuff there. I haven't seen anything new about Ayuk yet. So
one last thing with the 49ers too. Trent Williams is holding out as well. He wants his contract adjusted. So you got Ayuk and Trent Williams holding out right now.
That might be a problem. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, and maybe the Niners can find it. Listen, John Lynch has been very good at finding ways to make it work out there in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see if there's any more news. Maybe something came up about Ayuk or not. I'm not seeing anything really breaking as of right now, so we'll see. But because that's the thing, I went through it had the holdout list there, and it didn't show Trent Williams. So is that brand new or
maybe it's brand new because I got the TV on, I got ESPN on, and they're going through all the holdouts and hold-ins, and Trent Williams was another
CBS
one.
dropping the ball here. Let's see.
And it said that he's looking to get his contract readjusted.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, 1 hour ago. Trent Williams did not report to training camp as he wants his contract to be adjusted. Come on, CBS! CBS Sports dropping the ball. Pro Bowl is not practice content. Now, see, here we got Ian Rappaport, good old rap sheet, is saying that Kyle Shanahan is telling reporters that Trent Williams is not practicing for contact reasons. Oh, contract. Okay, I misread that. Yeah, contract.
Okay.
I thought contact. I was like, that seems he's giving a different answer. I was like, why is he saying that? Okay, no, it's contact.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes. So, him and but Ayuk is holding in. Trent Williams is holding out. Like, he's not even showing up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Listen, it's rough to be a GM in the NFL these days.
Especially, I know the past 2 seasons I've been shitting on the Niners and everything, but when you become very good, people want to get paid.
And
you don't see an 0-16 team saying, "Hey, I want to raise."
And they're gonna have to pay Brock Purdy.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give him a $10,000 raise.
Their backup quarterback is making like several $1 million more than he is.
Yeah, I heard that. Or I saw that, but that's Sam Darnold. Isn't Sam Darnold the backup?
No, he's in Minnesota now. He's going to be the starter.
Okay. All right. Well, then that makes sense then. Sam Darnold was there last year.
He was there last year. Yes.
Okay, that's who I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking of then. All right. But yeah, either way, they're going to have to pay Purdy.
Like that's the thing. So now you're thinking about it. Like you have Ayuk who wants his money. You have Trent Williams who wants his money. And Brock Purdy is still making what, $600,000?
$600, yeah.
That's gonna have to change real quick. So
yeah.
Listen, Brock Purdy could do the funniest thing right now, but I don't know if he will. That'd be funny. Brock Purdy just goes, "I'm gonna hold out until you guys give me some money." Absolutely, he's gonna do the funniest thing right now and do that, but I don't know if he will.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's not that kind of guy. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. He wouldn't do that. Let's see. Hey, did you see for the first day of the Big Ten press conferences that the fucking Oregon put the giant duck in the river down in Indianapolis?
Oh, that was a thing?
Yeah, that was an actual thing.
I thought it was a meme because I saw a duck get stuck in the something canal or something.
It was
like
no,
that.
it kind of is a meme, but it was a meme they did. Yeah, it was kind of like, hey, Oregon's in the Big Ten now, and they have the, the Big Ten press conferences, and those are held in Indianapolis. So yeah, Oregon was like, hey, we're in the Big Ten now. Here's our giant inflatable duck we're gonna put right down the goddamn river. I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. By the way, rest in peace, Pac-12. We love you. We miss you. Hopefully you'll be back soon. And listen, there's nothing I love more than doing this kind of fantasy realignment. When I see like that college football tomorrow thing talking about how they wanted to set up like the 8 divisions with the teams and have the one division kind of be like a promotion relegation one for teams that do good or do bad and have to go up or down and other stuff like that, and you have the 8 permanent. Like, that's such a good idea. College football, at least that highest echelon of college football, really needs to look into that, because college football, the way it's going right now, is unsustainable. Yeah. It really is. It's going to be real bad. And you have teams like Oregon and Washington and USC and UCLA in the Big Ten, playing Michigan and Wisconsin and Iowa. It's like Rutgers. Like Rutgers and UCLA are in the same conference. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing? But that's interesting. But another good thing that came out of this, and I want to thank you so very much for bringing this to my attention, is UCLA's new coach, Deshaun Foster. He's there at the Big Ten media days as they get ready for the season. College football is only 31 days away. Yeah. We're about a month-ish away from college football, so excited for that. Like, that's what I mean. We're here, man. We're here. We're just ready to go. Let me go ahead. Let's go over here, and well, let's think about some first-time press conferences.
Oh, I know the first one that popped in my head when I saw that video.
I think I do too, but I'm going to hold off on that one.
Okay.
Because I'm going to mention the first one that actually turned out pretty good, and that would be Dan Campbell.
Yes.
Dan Campbell's introductory press conference. Going to chew kneecaps. We're going to, that's what we're going to do. We're going to chew the other kneecap. You keep knocking us down. We're going to chew kneecaps. And we're going to come up. And everybody looked, what a clown. What an awful person. Jamel Hill was making fun of him, saying, this is who they passed over black head coaches for. This guy, this clown, this guy's a clown. Everybody was clowning him. The Pat McAfee show, as much as they love him now, were kind of clowning him at the time. And granted, it was funny. Turned out pretty good. I remember, and I think this might be the one you're thinking of. I'm not sure, but this might be the one you're thinking of. Adam Gase with the New York Jets. With his...
What do we say, coke eyes or...
His just staring off into the ether as he was, with the crazy wide eyes. Not a great one. Yeah. Not a great one, and turned out not a great hire. Didn't do really great. So Adam Gase is another one. Now, what were you thinking of?
Sirianni.
Oh yes, the manure in the make the flower grow. We're gonna put a layer of manure and make the flowers grow, and that's gonna bloom. But we have to put the layer of shit first before they. All right, yeah. A lot of people had that same kind of reaction that they did with Dan Campbell. Who the fuck is this clown? Who is this guy? Yeah. He brings you to playoffs in the first a playoff in the playoff win in the first year, and then the Super Bowl in the second year.
Yeah,
you're not going to talk about the third year, and that's fine. I understand that. You did make the playoffs. I'll get granted that, but backdoored it. But
I don't remember that. I was too drunk. 'Cause I knew the outcome, what the outcome was going to be.
I remember I was watching that game, and I was just like, I felt good for Baker.
Yeah.
I like Baker, so I felt good for Baker. But like the way the Eagles ended that season was bad. So we'll see. We'll see if the Sirianni manure has worn off or not. Now a new entrant has entered the ring. This is Deshaun Foster. He is the new coach there for UCLA. And this is his press conference there at the Big Ten Media Days. Oh, wait. I think I had this. I had it down because I was trying to make sure we didn't have everything. Okay. Take two.
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. We I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
Oh my god.
Oh my God! It just keeps getting funnier every time I watch it. Oh my God!
And it's almost like towards the end, he knows he bombed the
No, when you see him turn off to the side and just go, yeah, no, he's like, lights are a lot brighter here than I thought they were supposed to be. Oh no. Listen, I think anybody that's ever had a class assignment where you had to go ahead and stand in front of the class and read your report, probably feels exactly what he was feeling at that point. You know, and he's probably just going up there like, I'll just go up there and make it. You know, I can wing it. I can just go up there and make a couple statements and be like, how do I feel and all this other stuff. Yeah. And you know,
I was going to say, it sounds like he came up with that like 5 minutes before. Hey, Frazier, you're going up next. What?
He's like, all right, listen, I can do it. Are you sure? Are you sure, Deshaun? Can you do it? Yeah, sure. No, listen. Look, I didn't get to be head coach for nothing. Like, I can talk to my team. I can talk to the press. Like, I'm good at this. Trust me. I'm fine. And he gets up there. UCLA. I know it's the Big Ten. It's kind of the Midwest, but in case you don't know, in case, you know, you got into college by accident. All right? UCLA from Los Angeles. In case you wanted to know, it means the University of California, Los Angeles. That is the UCLA. Some people might say UCLA, but those people are wrong. Now, also, residing in Los Angeles with us is USC. And in case you don't know, that stands for the University of Southern California. And also, just a funny coincidence if you want to look at it that way. Los Angeles is in the southern part of California. Yeah, I'm just excited to be here. Any more questions? brother. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm telling you this. After every UCLA game, I'm firing their press conference. I gotta see what the
have
questions
to
are.
see it. I have to see what they're doing. Like that's this. This is. Is it a one-time thing? Is it just nerves got him? First time. This is his first time being a head coach, correct?
I am assuming so.
Or maybe a coach at this level. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, first time big school.
But like, here's the thing. Like, if you're not a great public speaker, if you're not great at just off the top of the head, wing it. Like, if that's not your deal, write something down. There's nothing wrong with having a sheet of paper with you on the podium there and being like, just wanted to say a couple words. You know, this is who I am. This is my background. This is where I'm from. This is my coaching experience. This is what I feel like we can do here at UCLA and what we can do here this season. Excited to be part of the Big Ten. Excited to start this new chapter in the school's history. In my story, in this school stories, in this conference's story, and like, just, you can have it there. That's fine. If you're not great at the public speaking, and that's fine. There's people who's not great at public speaking.
Yeah.
Not to say, because Bill Belichick, we have found out, is actually a pretty decent speaker and it's fun to hear. But when he was doing coaching stuff, that guy said 2 words, fucking most. It's like, we're on Cincinnati. We're supposed to do our job, didn't do our job. Next question. Like, all right, Jesus Christ. So there's things like that. And there's been people who are not great. And there's also people who think they're great at winging it and then just say the most cockamamie shit. I think back to the days of Jim Mora, and playoffs.
Playoffs.
The old classic, which are great. Or like Dennis Green, rest in peace.
Yeah.
They are who we thought they were. Or let him off the hook, and he just loses his mind. Like, that's you have people who think they can just wing it and do it, and then it quickly spirals out of control, and you're off and running. Not a great first impression by Deshaun.
That's what I got from about halfway through. Was it felt like he has speech, and he's like, okay, I can memorize this. Went out there with nothing, and like you said, the big lights hit him, and I
everything went like. How many times did it happen? Like, I get that. Like, how many times have you thought, all right, I can say this, I got something I want to say, I can do all that, and then you go to say it, and your mind just goes, bing!
Yep.
Like one of the old CRTVs when you turned it off. Just, it's done. It's gone. Good luck getting it back, because it ain't coming back until half an hour later when you're like, damn it, that's what I wanted to say. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to be like, oh, this guy's dumb. Oh, this guy's an idiot. Oh, like, no, I understand it. You just have to be prepared for it. Like, you can't be the new head coach of UCLA and do that.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Adam Gase, you can't have cocaine eyes when you're being introduced as the New York Jets, head coach. Like, you can't do it. Like we talked about.
I did see he got hired back in February 12th. So I want to see if they had a press conference.
I wwonder if it's any better. I wonder, like, if his UCLA introductory press conference is any better than his Big Ten news conference. Cause it seemed like he was trying to be almost like funny though. Like, that was the initial point of this, was like, oh, I'm going to come in here because it's the Big Ten, and we're UCLA coming all the way over to Big Ten country, so I'm going to be like, hey, everybody, we're UCLA. We're from Los Angeles, in case you didn't know. Like, he was trying to do that. But it just came off as, hi, we're UCLA. In case you didn't know, we're Los Angeles. And gonna have 15 seconds of longest fucking pause ever. Super uncomfortable. Like, that's the other thing too. It's like, oh god, I feel bad. Like, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. I'm laughing my ass off. If you've noticed before, I coughed up a lung because I was laughing. But I also do feel bad. I feel bad. I do feel bad. I'm laughing, but I feel bad. But Godspeed, Deshaun. Hopefully your press conferences and your games are better than that. Hopefully, hopefully this is not an indication of what is to come for poor UCLA. Oh my dear sweet Lord. I thought I wanted to talk about something else today too, and I can't remember now what it was. Dang it all. Well, I mean, we did see the new Notre Dame Shamrock Series threads, which I think look really sharp. I know some people are not happy with the numbers, but as a one-off, I like it.
Yeah, the numbers is what stood out to me the most.
Like if we just take a quick look at like I like the bevel. I like the bevel on the ND. I like that they just kept the gold helmet. I like that they realized after like that first 5 Shamrock series where they kept on trying to do something goofy with the fucking helmets. Leave the helmet unless you're gonna put like the old school Shamrock on the helmet. Leave the fucking helmets alone. That one where they did like the third of the helmet was blue and the other half had like the spiral gold. Like, stop it. Or the one they did, it was like the ND, but it was like in the Yankees pinstripes because they were playing at Yankee Stadium. Again. Stop it. No. Golden Dome, leave it be. And so I'm glad to see that they've done that. Oh, no, that's not the one. I was trying to find the, why is that there? We know that that's who they signed. Hold on. That's the one I'm looking for. Why is it going the other way? Oh, I have to go the other way. Okay. I'm still learning. We're all still learning here. But there you go. This is a good shot of the numbers you can see with the kind of old English Gothic style numbers. All chromed out in gold. Also have a little bevel on them. Looks nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, for a one-off. As the one-offs go for Notre Dame, these are some of the better ones they've had.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be like the way they have been doing it. These are nice. It's generally kind of the uniform. It's got that what they call the October blue gray, because of the news article about the Four Horsemen, and in the blue gray October sky, the Four Horsemen rode again with in Notre Dame lore there. But I mean, yeah, that's a sharp uni. I wonder if they're going to sell it. I wonder if it's going to be available, like with the cool chrome numbers and everything.
I hope so.
Because I would like to get that. I know you, but here's the problem with you. You're going to get the Chinese one. And it's going to be, if it comes from China, those chrome numbers are going to have lead and like mercury in it. And you know it. And you're going to be poisoned. You're going to wear it and you're going to end up with mercury poisoning and you're going to die. Or you're going to go insane, which is going to be hard to tell because you're already pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah. But, I was thinking at work today about this. Like, if they want 100, 124 of that type of jersey, and not the Chinese,
Fanatics or Under Armour, whoever. Yeah,
I'd pay that because that's a nice jersey. And it's not like it's gonna just be a one wear.
But it has to be that. If it's one where it's just like a plain fucking where they try to make it just a flat plastic one or something, and it's like no. I want the cool beveled gold. I want that ND popping out. I want that there. I don't want it printed on. I want that shit fucking sewn. I want that plastic on there. I want that sewn on. I want it to be like, if I'm going to pay that kind of money. Otherwise, we'll risk mercury poisoning. I guess. I don't know. But I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's good looking.
Yeah.
And also, that's unfortunately not going to be the game we're going to be at. We're going to be at the Navy game. This is for the game they're playing Army at Yankee Stadium. We're going to see them play Navy at MetLife Stadium. So.
Yes.
But still, nice and looks good. I like it. I think it looks good. But what else? Anything else going on?
No, I was just excited to talk because the training camp basically signals football's back.
I was gonna say, like we got training camp back. We're starting to taste it. You gotta, well, not taste. We're not close to taste yet, but we can smell it.
You can smell it.
It's like a barbecue. You're outside. You just walked outside of your house, and there's a neighbor barbecuing. You don't know which neighbor,
Yeah.
And you don't know quite what they're barbecuing or grilling, whatever you want to say. But it's something.
Yeah.
It's some kind of meat. You know, there is a grill out there. And you're like, hey, I know that smell. That smells pretty good. And now we just have to go. Now we have to find the house. And then we have to get invited in. And then by the time September rolls around, we're stuffing our face with grilled meats and various chips and dips. And we're going to be here for you the entire season with as many games as we can live stream right here on Stay Tuned Sports on the channel here. So if you don't want to miss anything, you go ahead, you like, share, subscribe us, hit that little notification bell, let you know whenever we're popping up, either with a new video or with a live stream. We had the countdown yesterday with our number 7 overall pick in our power rankings. I always like power rankings, just doesn't click to my head. Our top 12 NFL power rankings, number 7 was yesterday. You can go ahead and check out that video. We have the Friday forecast coming up, believe it or not, on Friday. That is going to be our prediction for the AFC North. We did the AFC East last week. We both think the Jets are going to kind of run that division. Now it's for what may be the best division in football, arguably. I don't know who was arguing against it, but they're probably wrong because I think the AFC North is pretty fucking stacked. So you're not going to want to miss that. That's coming up on Friday on the Friday forecast. And, of course, as we get closer to football season, live streams are coming. We're going to live stream the Thursday night game, Chiefs-Ravens. We're going to live stream, obviously, Jimbo's Eagles are playing Friday in Brazil against the Green Bay Packers. Hopefully there's no gang-related violence because of all the green wearing in the non-green area. How much of that story is true or not, who knows. And then that Sunday, we're live streaming. We're going to be live streaming the Giants game, and plus probably another random game at 4 o'clock, plus the Sunday night game, plus Monday night. Like, listen, we're just streaming. Like, Sunday's going to be full stream. Like, at least for me anyway, I know you like are going to be in and out of some of the streams just because of scheduling and how things work. I'm going to be streaming like fucking 12 hours on Sundays. Like, I'm going to be fucking exhausted. But it's going to be the most fun exhausted, and I hope you join us too. So if you want to join us, like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank all of our subscribers that are currently with us right now. Thank you so much for jumping in right here on the early part, on the ground floor. Again, we've been around for, actually, believe it or not, I actually saw it. I think it's August 11th will be 8 years since the initial Stay Tuned Sports came around in 2016. Now, I know it says established 2018. That's when you reestablished it because we kind of took a bit of a hiatus there for a while. But the initial idea for Stay Tuned Sports was launched August 11th, 2016. So that'll be our 8th anniversary, soft, hard anniversary, however you want to look at that, soft or hard. But, like, we've been doing a podcast for a while. We've been on and off. There's been some lineup changes here or there where I wasn't able to be on the show. We had Shoulders, I was on the show for a while. You did it yourself for a long time. Like, we've been in and out, lots of ups, lots of downs, a lot of ins, a lot of outs, as the dude would say. We've been around for a while, and now this YouTube channel is the next step, is our next adventure. And I just want to thank everybody who is already watching us here and spreading the word. Thank you so much for all that you do. And for helping us out, and for being the real ones, for being the ones here right at the jump, right at the start. And we hope to see you around all through this football season. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And that's it. Share us around. Share us on social media. Share us on Twitter, X, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok if you want. Go ahead and make fun of us. Put our video up there and mock all my takes or Jimbo's takes or both our takes. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, just again, thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for subscribing. And that's really all I got to say is we're getting closer That's all.
We're right there.
The
right
long
there.
national nightmare of no football is almost over. We got college football coming up soon. Like I said, we're only, 31 days away from that. We're only 44 days, 40 some odd days away from NFL football's coming up. Like, it's here. It's here. And time to start revving it up. It's time to start getting ready.
All right. So I guess sounds like you're done.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I don't want to step on any claw. I don't want to step on anybody.
So till next time. I'm your good friend Jimbo. This is
I'm King.
we're out.
Los Angeles is in California.